Hi everyone, it's me, Stopwatch Studios, and because it got copyrighted, obviously, I'm just going to do a commentary track on my edited version of the Dwarves versus Smaug fight scene, and how it would naturally transition into the beginning of the third movie, which in this case would just be the same movie, because this is, if the movies were just two movies, if the Hobbit trilogy was just a Hobbit duology. So anyway, yeah, everything's the same here. We're going to get our first change in just a second. So, no, everything's the same here. Everything's the same here. Now, because I was actually using the edit of this from the Tolkien cut, for some reference, I actually cut out the scene with the speech about fire, and also them sneaking around a bit. So, it's flee, flee. So Smaug actually has something to say, though, because I left that in. You don't want him to just be mute during the entire scene. So it looks like that he's chasing just one group of dwarves here as well, which is a bit of a change. And then we've got this scene, which originally, began at a ridiculous scene where Thorin jumps down a thing, but instead I did this. Thorin jumps down like a mine shaft and stands on Smaug's mouth. And then, he doesn't threaten Smaug here, Smaug just breathes the fire. And they're not turning on the furnaces for any reason here. It's not a plan, it's just, for continuity's sake, in the rest of the scene, the furnaces are lit up, Okay, but I kept the bit where they pour water on him, so you'll see that in a second here. Just give it a minute. But yeah, I majorly cut down Smaug breaking through the door. And I cut Bomber doing the bellows, because that's just stupid. Bomber is a very stupid character in all these films. He's funny, but he's very stupid. Shorten Smaug breaking down the door here. Oh yeah, the lever bit with the water, yeah. Yeah, I rather like that edit, shortening him breaking through the door, because it goes on for a little too long in the film. And then the rest of the dwarves are just running off back outside, outside of the mountain. They're not, other than Thorin, they're not trying to go back in. We've got Bilbo here, the lever, then we've got Smaug, and he's approaching Bilbo. This all happened in the film. Everything you're seeing here happened in the film. Now, there's a bit coming up in just a second. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a cool shot. There's a bit coming up in just a second here where Bilbo survives a ridiculously high, fall on a crumbling structure. And it is a kind of stupid, but sometimes you just have to deal with these sorts of things, because the films were made how they were made. If I was to cut the films together, there would be far less emphasis on lack of physics, we see here. It would be very unlikely for him to survive that. If this was the only, physics ignoring thing that happened in the entire trilogy, then you wouldn't question it. So that's probably what it would be in my version, if this was a full film. So, and then we have the Bilbo chase that we've gotten to much quicker this time. I rather like this chase, and it's pretty short and snappy. And it cuts out Thorin on the wheelbarrow, because that was ridiculous. And I'll kind of just let this conversation play out, because I like how I edited it together. Oh, it's a great shot. Here he comes. I had to crop it a bit, so that's why the frames might look a little weird. Poor Bilbo. He's a lot braver than Frodo, though. This is where a lot of people cut to him leaving the mountain, but I left Bilbo being very brave again. You'll notice a sudden drop in quality. That's because I had to use multiple different videos for it. I don't have a copy of the film as a file, which is very annoying. Oh, I love that line. The Benedict Cumberbatch is so good in this, and so is the CGI on Smaug. He's probably the best part of the entire trilogy. Oh yeah, I left him on the mountain line. Then we cut to the dwarves that have escaped the mountain, and then we cut to this. My favourite moment.
Was a dragon.
And no gold on him, obviously. Now he's approaching Lake Town, Bard's looking out from his jail cell. They're all looking around, and I cut Tariel looking about slightly, so we've got Balin saying poor souls here, and then we've got Bilbo walking up here, going down, and then we've got Bard screaming, and this is my favourite musical cue from the whole scene. Oh, glorious. I mean, you know, this is all great stuff here that I've got to work with, but I'm just shortening it and making it more snappy so that the fight with Bard will feel like the actual climax of the story. Well, the film. Well, this part of the film. And then I added that shot back in. And then it cuts straight to Bard in his prison in the next movie. And Smaug attacking Lake Town, and that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked it. Sorry I had to do a commentary over it and you can't just watch it by itself. I don't really know how to upload it, and I'm not going to make a full cut of the movies until I have much more storage space somehow, until I've paid for that. And, you know, like, copies of the full movies, like, very well done copies. And I'd probably edit it down to 2 movies, one that does the journey and one that does Smaug and the Battle of the Five Armies. I'd probably call the first one An Unexpected Journey. I'd probably call the second one, like, just the desolation of Smaug, because technically the battle also counts as his desolation because he caused it all and all that death and destruction. And I'll leave in all the Azog subplot. I won't leave in Dol Guldur, except for like an extended edition, because I think Peter Jackson really should have done that with the Gandalf, Dol Guldur, Sauron stuff, because that would have been so cool to put that in an extended edition instead of the normal version. That would have been like people would have actually liked that if it was only in the extended edition. So yeah, bye.